Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. What is the latest on Tennessee's search for a defensive coordinator? Tim Banks fired over the weekend. We did a good live stream on Sunday night. If you missed it, I encourage you to go back and give it a watch. I can link it at the end of this video, but we kind of went through all the hot boards. The hot board over at on3.com with Pete Nakos, went through the hot board over at volquest.com, and really the more you dug through it, and by the time we wrapped up that show, everybody was talking about Ryan Walters, the defensive coordinator at Washington. He was the guy that was almost at the top of every list, seemed to be trending to Tennessee. You can see the tweet from Pete Nakos on the screen. One name to keep an eye on at Tennessee is Washington defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. Sources tell Chris Lowe and I for On3 Sports. Former Purdue head coach was on staff with Josh Heupel at Missouri. His Washington defense this year was ranked number one in the country in stopping opponents on third down, around a 25.6% conversion rate, tied for 21st in the country in scoring defense, 20th in the country in total defense, and 17th in the country in rushing defense, allowing just over 100 yards per game. You can go check out who Ryan Walters is. If you go through his bio over at the Washington website, it says Ryan Walters, who built a reputation as one of the nation's top collegiate defensive coaches, joined the Washington football coaching staff as a defensive coordinator. Walters, who served as the head coach at Purdue the last two seasons, comes to Seattle with a long, outstanding resume as a defensive coach in the Big Ten Conference and the SEC, with highly successful stints at Illinois and Missouri. Now, if you look at his time at Purdue as a head coach and you kind of start to say, man, I do not want this guy at Tennessee. His record tells me all I need to know. I don't want him at Tennessee. Well, don't look at his experience as a head coach. Some guys are better off being play callers. Some guys are better off being defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators instead of actually being the CEO, instead of being the head guy. And I think Ryan Walters' track record as a defensive coordinator speaks for itself. It says here, prior to taking over at Purdue in 2023, he was the defensive coordinator at Illinois for 2 seasons. This is what I like. What does the defense look like before he gets there? And what does the defense look like after he gets there? Well, at Illinois in 2020, their defense ranked 97th in the country in scoring defense and 114th in total defense. His first year on the job, those rankings improved to 29th and 49th, respectively. In 2022, he coached the Illinois defense to the number 1 ranked scoring defense in the country and number 2 ranked in total defense, giving up just 263 yards per game. So you took a defense that was 97th in the country in scoring defense, 114th in the country in total defense, and you improved that to number 1, number 2 defense in the country. Goes on to talk about some of the Illinois defenders earning Big Ten recognition. At Missouri, Walters' 2019 defense ranked top 20 in the nation in several categories, including total defense, scoring defense, while excelling as a top 10 passing defense. So what's the holdup? If Pete Nakos is tweeting out and saying the name to keep an eye on is Ryan Walters, a lot of the insiders, a lot of the experts thought we were looking at a time frame of 24 to 48 hours after firing Tim Banks. Some people even thought we were getting an announcement yesterday. We were refreshing all day long on the internet, on Twitter, on VolQuest, waiting for an announcement to come out. Well, Walters met with the media yesterday as Washington is preparing for their bowl game coming up on Saturday. We're going to take a listen to what he said. Plus, we have a lengthy update from VolQuest.com. Should we be concerned? We're going to talk about it. I need you guys to do the YouTube stuff for me, though, real quick. Hit the thumbs up down there below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel. I would appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. What we are is exactly what you guys are. It's for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Had a fun one last night. We streamed until after 1 a.m. last night. It's a good time, man. We talk Tennessee football. We talk life. We talk family. Coach Jay popped in. Scoops popped in. We talk about this defensive coordinator search. Tuesday nights are something special, but we'll also do impromptu live streams like Sunday. So make sure you click that bell for notifications so you don't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. But let's jump into it. Let's take a listen to what Ryan Walters said. Again, Washington preparing for a bowl game coming up on Saturday. LA Bowl playing against Boise State. He met with the media and he was asked specifically about his connection to the Tennessee job. Let's take a listen here.
Just to get right to it, I guess. a report that you're a name to watch in the defensive coordinator search at Tennessee. Is that true?
I mean, that's a pretty easy, like, connect the dots deal. Obviously, I've coached with a lot of those guys in the past. Know and respect them, fully. But rumors are just rumors. I've had zero communication with anybody over there regarding any kind of job. I know there's an opening there. So like I said, if I was a media member, I'd connect the same dots as well. That makes sense. But right now, those are just rumors.
So again, he's saying it's pretty easy for the media to connect the dots and put him out there as the front runner. That's what he would do if he was in the media because of his relationship, the time he spent with Josh Heupel. You look at the coaching hot boards. But again, I think Pete Nakos is pretty dang good at his job. Pete Nakos is the one that dropped the Nico news, and we denied it. We sat right here on the channel and said there is no way this is an accurate report. But guess what? Pete Nakos nailed it. Pete Nakos has connections. Pete Nakos is connected to the inside. He's got good scoops. He drops the information. He drops the news all the time. And also, when is it a shocker that a head or a defensive coordinator, head coach, anybody would sit up there in front of the media and deny it? I mean, do you remember Nick Saban? I'm not going to be the coach at Alabama. Well, we all know how that worked out. I wish you would have been telling the truth. Would have saved us a lot of misery. So I'm not surprised here that Ryan Walters meeting with the media, but he says something interesting. Says he has had zero communication with Tennessee. Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? I don't know. Some people can spin it. Well, his agent is doing all the communication. Austin Price over at VolQuest.com put out an update last night while we were live. It's a lengthy one. This is what he says. Says, I spoke to Ryan Walters this morning, and he told me the same thing that he told the media later in the day, is that he has had no contact with Josh Heupel in Tennessee. All right. Again, he can lie. Who cares? He can spin it however he wants. That doesn't say anything. He goes on. I've spoken to more people tonight that backed up that claim. So where does the Walters smoke come from? I wish I knew, but I do think Josh Heupel is looking at several candidates, including Walters. I spoke to someone this evening who told me the hope is to have someone in place before the weekend, but obviously that isn't a hard timeline. So if the goal is to have somebody in place before the weekend, is this as simple as Walters coaching Washington in the LA Bowl on Saturday? And if it is, if you want to have a coach in place by the weekend, I think it's going to be very telling if we don't get an announcement before Saturday. He goes on. He says, could they still tab Walters and announce him before the weekend? Sure, but that doesn't make sense to me. Heupel has a small circle on this, so things continue to be muddied in terms of what's real and what is not. Now, he followed that up by saying Walters may not be the top choice, but also said nobody really knows what Josh Heupel's list looks like. Could this, again, be as simple as Walters is the guy? Walters is at the top of the list, but Walters wants to finish the season out with his guys. He wants to focus on his players. He wants to focus on Boise State, and this announcement will come out after Saturday. Another thing is, again, like AP said there, could you still announce Walters, but allow him, his coaching staff, anybody that he may or may not bring with him to go ahead and coach that bowl game coming up on Saturday? Something else worth noting, something else that's interesting, if Walters is the guy and Walters is a done deal, it's across the finish line. We know if you're Josh Heupel, if you're inside that circle, you know Walters is going to be your next defensive coordinator. He was also scheduled to be, he as in Josh Heupel, pronouns pal. Heupel was supposed to be in Las Vegas to see John Henderson inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame, but he skipped that trip to keep working on this hire. Now, is that because Walters isn't the guy, Walters isn't done, or is that all just one big smokescreen? If I'm working on this coaching search, I can't be out, going to Las Vegas, going to see John Henderson. Is it one giant smokescreen? What is going on with this coaching search? Is it Ryan Walters? Is it not Ryan Walters? Are we going to have to wait until the weekend to find out who this next defensive coordinator is going to be? VolQuest updated their coaching hot board. They put out 2.0, but really the only changes they made to that is adding Travaris Robinson at Georgia, also added Clayton White at South Carolina, and that really just lines up with Pete Nakos and what the On3 original coaching hot board was. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Ryan Walters meeting with the media and denying this talk about him becoming the next defensive coordinator at Tennessee? What are your thoughts on Josh Heupel skipping the trip to Vegas, skipping out on Big John Henderson being inducted into the Hall of Fame? Is he still grinding? Is he still working on this coaching search? If it's not Ryan Walters, who is it? Do we have a shot to go get Jim Knowles? You let me know. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. You can help the channel also by hitting the join button down below. Only $1 a month. You get access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. More importantly, you are supporting this channel. You can also grab our merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS, or go check out our Patreon. We have an EA Sports College Football Patreon Dynasty. I know several of you were asking about it. We're getting ready to fire up a new season. Now is the perfect time to join. That link is also in the description below, or we have a game day chat over there, or a $1 tier. If you just say, Boogie, I like what you do and I want to support it, that's the way to do it. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.